Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing great, staying safe and sane and healthy, and just everyone's getting along out there. In my last video, not the last video about Miss MOL, but my last video regarding my crutches, I received several questions about that. I told you guys, if there's any questions or anything you feel I didn't hit on or anything like that, feel free to send me a message or drop one in the comments or anything like that. Well, I did have people do that, and Backwoods 3030 sent me several, and there was a few people on Facebook, that kind of thing. My wife actually had a question, so what I did was compiled all those together, and that's what we're going to do today. Is I'm going to sit down and actually go through you guys' questions, read them, address them, and give the best, most thorough answer that I possibly can for them. Before we get into that, as you guys seen in the last video, Miss MOL's doing good. Heartbeat's good. Her heartbeat's good. Let me see. Blood pressure's, okay. It's doing like it should be. Everything is trucking right along like it should. The nausea, like I said, it's still there. Some days it's better than others. Some days it's really bad. But with medicine and stuff like that, she's really keeping it reined in, so that's good. If you haven't watched that video, it's this video right here, and you can go back and check that out, and it kind of give you an update on how my wife's doing, that kind of thing. If you're new to the channel, I know I've been getting a lot of new folks. If you're brand new to the channel, hi, I'm MOL, Motivated One-Legger. I'm an amputee, left below or above knee, and I was also a below the knee, and yeah, this is just my story. This whole channel is basically just my story and what it all revolves around, that kind of thing. We're dedicated to helping people, both new amputees, old amputees, people dealing with severe anxiety, depression, flashbacks, manic depressive disorder. Anything like that, is generally what we cover on this channel. So anything that we can do for you, please ask in the comment section, and maybe we can help you guys out. So if not, then you guys enjoy the video, and we're gonna jump straight into the questions. Question number one, what is the liner made of? The liner is made of it's got a cotton material on the outside. Here, I cut us a piece off here. It's got a kind of a rougher kind of cotton stuff. I'm not sure what this is actually made of, but you can see it's kind of rough feeling, and then it's got this thread that runs up the side that joins these two pieces together. Now on the inside, it has this like strong webbing that's inside there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it has this really strong webbing that goes down inside there, and then of course you can see right there the threading that also runs through there. Now the silicone that you're seeing is just that. It's just like a clear silicone that runs up through there. It's very stretchy, and it's very durable. It lasts a long time. Overall, it's super grippy. So that's the reason that they use a lot of this stuff right here, because it's very grippy. So yeah, so there you go. What is the lifespan of this liner? I get that question a lot, actually. With every other liner, with all the liners that they have out there, which there's hundreds, if not thousands of different ones that you can actually have for your leg, but they're all different as far as like the materials that they're made of and what they're suggested for, that kind of thing. So a lot of times, what they're going to suggest, and your insurance company will also, is every year I want to look at getting you a couple new liners. What I do is I go maybe every 2 to 3 years, something like that. So the ones that you saw in the video that we're talking about today, that liner right there, that was my first new liner in 3 years, I think, something like that. So so they're very durable. They last a long time, and they over time they do stretch, and then your limb also atrophies, which means that it starts to go down and gets smaller and smaller. So you will have that, what's called the bell effect, wherever you're kind of wallowing around inside there, and it's not really like gripping on like it should be. So that becomes an issue. and at that point you have an ill-fitting leg that, you know, you'll have to address with your insurance company, that kind of thing, and possibly get recasted and all that kind of stuff. So, but to answer the short end of it would be probably, maybe, I'm going to say a year to maybe 2 years is about the average lifespan of this particular liner that you're seeing here. Are they machine washable? This is another question that I get quite often, and no, they're absolutely not machine washable. If you were to put one in your washing machine and then try to dry it, or even hang dry it or anything like that, it could possibly start breaking down the inside of it, like the detergents and stuff like that they would use in the, you know, to wash our clothes and that kind of stuff, is two completely different things. So, you know, yes, you could run it without detergent and that kind of stuff, but it's still, with all the thrashing around and that stuff, it's really not made for that. So no, I would not recommend putting them in the washing machine. But I have seen people try to put them in the dishwasher. Again, that's something I don't recommend doing, but again, I've seen people do it and they say that it works just fine. So, you know, I wash all mine by hand and just call it good, because that's how I was taught, and that's how I'm just going to keep doing mine. So no, I don't put mine in the machine, and I wash every single one of them by hand. In one of your videos, someone mentioned scent due to prolonged wear. Hunters use a scent eliminator, laundry wash, and dryer sheets for animal detection or animal detection prevention. Could something like that be used to prolong the sock's life? Well, I mean, as long as you keep it clean and stuff like that, you know, you'll be just fine. The scent and that kind of thing, it doesn't really permeate, like it doesn't really kind of like leak out the top or anything like that. The only time that we really have to worry about that is when it's really hot outside, which, I mean, that would make sense, you know, because obviously your body temperature elevates and you start getting a lot hotter. But the only time that really is a super issue is, like I said, the hot summer, like late August, that kind of thing. But no, I mean, we don't really use anything like that. There's nothing that I've ever heard of that they make like on the market for something like that. But I mean, not saying that, you know, hey, there could be people out there doing it that, you know, I've never talked to before, but I mean, for the most part, no, we don't really use anything, you know, no scent blockers or anything like that. Mainly just keep your liner clean. There will be times where, like say I've been, just a quick story is, we were at the zoo before, and I could literally feel myself getting so hot and so like overheated that my leg and everything started sweating, and I could literally feel myself walking out of my leg. Like I could feel it just kind of, as I was walking, my stump was getting shorter and shorter, and I was starting to come out of it. Well, I had to go to the bathroom basically and just like take everything off, like my leg and my liner, and take all that off, and then wash everything, make sure everything's nice and clean, hand dry it real good, you know, best I can. I've even seen people like take their liners over to the hand dryer, like the hot air dryer. I mean, hey, it works, go with it. I didn't do that, but I have had, you know, like I said, that day at the zoo, I did, and people were sitting there just kind of freaked out looking at me. They'd walk by and just kind of do like this, like, you know, like, what the fuck? But either way, so yeah, I have had to actually take my leg off and, like, you know, basically clean everything and then redo it and put it back on. But no, as far as using any kind of scent blockers or anything like that, no, not really. What are the advantages of this socket over standard suction, pin lock, etc.? Well, what mine is called a socketless socket. It's the Autobach Varos 2. And it's a socketless socket, and what that means is there's not a deep well socket, there's no suction, there's no pin lock, there's no anything like that. What mine operates off of is a magnet, and I've showed you guys that, you know, in the last video. as far as an advantage, I wouldn't say that there really is one. It's just more of a securing method, and this particular socket and this particular company, that's just the way that their liners work. Maybe, not with all Autobach products, but with this particular liner, it requires you to use this specific type of liner for it. So yeah, that's it. Basically, it comes as kind of like a combo kit. With me, what was going on was they had such a hell of a time trying to fit a socket for me and try to keep it, because my limb was shrinking like so rapidly, that what they wanted to do was put the socket that you guys see now, and it's extremely adjustable, everything. I mean, like I said before, my limb, you could honestly hand it over to another above knee and they could try it on, and that's unheard of. Like, that's just completely unheard of. But because the reason I say it's unheard of is because your socket and everything is formed to your leg. It's all the molds and indentions and everything are made for your leg, so your leg will fit in there perfectly every single time in a certain way. Well, with mine, it don't do that. It just kind of grabs around it and closes in on it, and the tighter that you tighten it, it's just sitting there going like this, getting tighter and tighter and tighter, squeezing around it. And the magnet is to keep everything locked down in there. It's not a super strong magnet. Like, my one that I go magnet fishing with and the one that I'm actually wearing on my leg, it's night and day. Like, it's not even sort of the same. It's way stronger than, say, a refrigerator magnet or like a speaker magnet or something you would see like on the back of a subwoofer or something like that. But it's not hard to deal with or anything like that. But yeah, as far as advantages and stuff like that, there's really not any. And it's just a better system altogether. And with that, it's part of that system, part of the Varos 2 system. So there you go. Are these types of liners heavier than others with the magnet at the end? Well, yeah, they are. They're definitely a little bit heavier. You can definitely feel, like, when you first put one on, you can definitely feel that kind of like, whoa, okay. Like, you go to lift up your leg, and as soon as you lift up that leg, it's just kind of like, all right. It's a little bit more stout than what it would normally be. But what I do get to do is, like, where I get to differentiate that is the socket that I have is way lighter than your conventional carbon fiber socket. So it kind of makes up for it. And so I'm pretty stoked on that. But it's my leg, my socket and my liner itself is way lighter than any, like, just simple carbon fiber socket. So I guess basically what I'm saying is both of them are definitely lighter than just a person's normal above knee leg would be anyway. Now, as far as, like, when you go to add your knees and stuff like that, those knees can get super heavy, and you just got to kind of work with it from there. But as far as just wearing the liner itself, no, it's not really. Like I said, it's slightly different, but it's not like to the point where you got to really do some serious adjusting or kind of learn to work with it or anything like that. There's really no learning curve. It's just kind of put it on and go with it. But for those first few weeks or something, every time you go to lift up that stump, it's going to feel like, wow, this thing feels weird. But now it doesn't bother me at all. Like, there's I don't feel anything. I would be curious to put on another liner and just to see if that would actually be a thing. Like, if that would, if I could tell the difference, just to kind of do, like, for my own personal test, I guess. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, it is a little bit heavier, and but like I said, it's nothing we can't deal with. So, do these liners work with other sockets? No, they do not. Like I was saying in the previous question, it's made just for this one particular socket. It's made for the Autobach Varos 2, which is what I have. They are very they have their own system, like I was saying before, and the system that they use, it's it's an awesome one. It works great, you know, and I love it. I very much prefer it and would recommend it to anybody. A fully adjustable socket is just the way to go. That is the way to go. Like, it feels so much better. You have full control over it. It's kind of like putting on your shoe, you know. You can just, oh, my shoe's a little bit tight, well, loosen it up. Or my shoe's a little bit loose, well, tighten it up, you know. You can do that, as opposed to before, your only other option of doing that was to just add more socks and basically pack stuff in around it and call it good, you know, and just hope for the best and hope for your next insurance cycle to come around to where you can get a new socket. Well, with this one, you don't have to do that. So we've been able to avoid that and get around it altogether. So no, this will not work with any other socket. It only works with the Autobach Varos 2. So that's the questions that I've received from you guys about these. Like I said, I hope in this video I've answered them as thoroughly as possible. And, you know, I realize it's not really like a super duper interesting subject, but, you know, you guys were interested and people did have questions about it. So therefore, with this channel, I always want to try to, you know, answer any questions that y'all have, try to help out any way that I can. And yeah, so that's what I was hoping that we truly did that in today's video. So yeah, with that, everybody, please stay happy, safe, sane, motivated. Don't look back. Don't give a crap what anybody else says about you, because at the end of the day, it don't matter. We'll see you soon.